Published in 1937. The Chrysanthemums is a short story by American writer John Steinbeck. It was first published in 1937 before being included as part of his collection The Long Valley the following year. John Ernst Steinbeck Jr., February 27, 1902 to December 20, 1968, was an American writer and the 1962 Nobel Prize in Literature winner, for his realistic and imaginative writings, combining as they do sympathetic humor and keen social perception. He has been called a giant of American letters. Summary. The story opens with a panoramic view of the Salinas Valley in winter. The focus narrows and finally settles on Eliza Allen, cutting down the spent stalks of chrysanthemums, in the garden on her husband's ranch. Eliza is 35, lean and strong, and she approaches her gardening with great energy. Her husband, Henry, comes from across the yard, where he had been arranging the sale of the 30 steers. Then he offers to take Eliza to town so they can celebrate the sale. He praises her skill with flowers, and she congratulates him on doing well in the negotiations for the steer. They seem to be a well-matched couple, though their way of talking together is formal and serious. While talking about their plan to go out, Henry jokingly asks Eliza if she would like to see a fight. Showing no interest, Eliza refuses and says she wouldn't like it. They agree on dinner and a movie instead. Eliza decides to finish her transplanting before they get ready to leave for town. Eliza hears a squeak of wheels and a plod of hoofs, and a man drives up in an old spring wagon he is never named. The narrator simply calls him the man, earning a meager living. He fixes pots and sharpens scissors and knives. He travels from San Diego to Seattle and back every year. The man chats and jokes with Eliza, but she admits that she has no work for him to do. When he presses for a small job, she becomes annoyed and tries to send him away. Suddenly, the man's attention turns to the flowers that Eliza is tending. When he asks about them, Eliza's annoyance vanishes and she becomes friendly again. The man remembers seeing chrysanthemums before and describes them, kind of a long-stemmed flower. Looks like a quick puff of colored smoke. Eliza is delighted with his description. The man tells her about one of his regular customers who also gardens. He claims this customer has asked him to bring her some chrysanthemum seeds if he ever finds some in his travels, and Eliza is happy to oblige. She invites the man into the yard and prepares a pot of chrysanthemum shoots for the putative woman's garden. She gives him full instructions for tending them. Eliza envies the man's life on the road and is attracted to him because he understands her love of flowers. In a moment of extreme emotion, she nearly reaches for him but snatches her handbag before she touches him. Instead, she finds him 2 pots to mend, and he drives away with 50 cents in the chrysanthemum shoots, promising to take care of them until he can deliver the chrysanthemums to the other woman. Eliza goes into the house to get dressed for dinner. She scrubs herself vigorously and examines her naked body in the mirror before putting on her dress and makeup. When Henry sees her, he compliments her, telling her she looks nice, different, strong and happy. When Henry and Eliza drive into town, she sees a dark speck ahead on the road. It turns out the man tossed her chrysanthemum shoots out of his wagon, but kept the pot Eliza had put them in. She feels hurt. Henry does not notice and Eliza does not mention it to him. It's then that Eliza brings up an interest in the fights that night. She asks if women ever go to the fights. Henry answers, oh sure, some, but reminds her that she probably wouldn't like it. She agrees and says the night out alone will be plenty. She turns her head so he cannot see her crying. She also says she feels like an old woman. Characters. Eliza Allen, a 35-year-old woman who lives on a ranch just across the Salinas River with her husband, Henry. Eliza is described as having a lean and strong face and eyes as clear as water, and when wearing her gardening costume, she looks like she has a blocked and heavy figure. Eliza usually spends her time in the garden, tending to her chrysanthemums. Henry Allen, Eliza's husband who lives on the ranch with her. He loves Eliza's passion for the garden, but cannot seem to understand why she never uses her gift for anything else besides the chrysanthemums. The man, a traveling mender who arrives on the road in a wagon that has a canvas painted with the words, pots, pans, knives, scissors, lawnmowers, fixed on it. The man is not given a formal name throughout the story.